All right, what's going on? Back at it. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for all the good comments and the feedback, and anything anybody can give me to help me along is it's a blessing to get those things. So, to the people I know, I appreciate it. To the people I don't know, I appreciate it. And even the people that are giving me the bad stuff, listen, that's what I need. I don't know it all, so I'm here to, I'm here to give the guidance and also, see what you guys have to say about what I say. So, it's a good thing. So please do me a favor, keep that up. So what I want to go over is the increase in knowledge. If you read the book of Daniel, it says, Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So in Daniel, it's talking about the end times, and we're talking about knowledge increasing. So, there's a lot of different aspects to look at, but when you're talking about knowledge, obviously you can see what's going on in this world today. It's non-stop increase. Everything that we do is non-stop increase. You gotta have the best phone, right? You gotta have the iPhone 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? It's just non-stop. They always have a new feature. The selling feature, the next best, right? It's non-stop increase, right? And that's just the small things, okay? Now there's also, your increase in knowledge just from your everyday life. You personally, you're reading, you're learning, so on and so on. People are obviously getting smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. If you look at things back in the day compared to now, enough said, right? It's insane how intelligent people have become, the things that they're creating and the things that they're doing. At the same time, then you have a spiritual knowledge where people are learning about God, following God, right? Getting very knowledgeable to God. And, if you go through and you look at, YouTube pastors and things like that, like Revelations of Jesus Christ, I follow him all the time. His knowledge on spiritual scriptures and things like that, it's insane. Okay, it is so unbelievable that someone can read the word and remember these things and know these things and put these things in life situations, right? Pastor Gino Jennings, Truth of God, same situation. To know the word that well is just an increase of spiritual knowledge. It's mind-blowing. Now, when you look at this increase of knowledge, and then you think about, you go back to, the 1900s, and you look at how things went from 0, to 100 real quick, okay? Because you go from the 1900s to now, and the things that you're increasing technology-wise, right? Is automobiles were started, before the 1900s, but they weren't fine-tuned yet. And then before you know it, right, you're driving cars across the country. It's 1900s. It's just increase in technology. Airplanes, right? You're getting in an airplane and you are flying from one part of the world to another. The increase of technology. That's major, right? The problem with all that increase of technology is it also has negative effects on the human race, because now these things can be used for good and bad. And the way that they did this was, I mean, you look at it, right? They took airplanes and then they turned them into fighter jets, which killed millions of people, right? You're dropping bombs with them. You're doing all types of things with fighter jets, right? So increase of technology went to the war state, basically, and now you're looking at, somebody decided that they were going to create the atom bomb, which is a devastating nuclear weapon. And then somebody went the next level and created the hydrogen bomb, which turns the atom bomb into a baby bomb. Nothing at all. I mean, it's those two bombs are apparently not even comparable in the destruction. So it just increases and increases and increases. But a lot of these things are coming to the negative factor, and they're not helping the world, right? So you're looking at military aviation, submarines, all these things are war. Bible says when you start hearing of these things, wars and rumors of wars, and, that's when we're going to start looking at the end of time. In Daniel, it explains that the increase of knowledge will be also in the days of the end of the end. Okay, so I'm pointing these things out because I want everybody to open their eyes and realize that you really don't know how much longer you have here. And when I say that, I don't mean in a personal sense of, you might pass away tomorrow or something like that. I mean, how much longer do you have before you decide to believe and repent or not? Because time is ticking, and the scripture is pointing to these things and showing you everything that's going on. This is all lining up. Okay, it's all lining up. Now we're traveling to space. You know what I mean? Like, apparently they landed on the moon. I don't know if I believe that or not. I mean, I don't know. That you watch the video and it sounds like a big hoax. Whatever. I don't understand why they're doing those things anyway. A lot of the technology that you look at, it almost seems like it's a waste. And what I mean by that is I'm always talking about people in need, and people need help, and there's things that this world needs. Let's care about other people instead of worrying about whether or not we can land on the moon or see what's on Mars. Who cares? Who cares what's on Mars? We live on Earth. Nobody cares what's on Mars except for the people trying to figure out what's on Mars. If you find something on Mars that's alive, I don't care. I don't know about most of the population, but so what? I don't care. What does that have to do with anything? People need help. I know I go over that and I constantly beat that horse, and it's a major problem. Our not only our country, but you look at other countries, those people are in desperate need. I mean, if you've ever been out of this country and you go to these countries that are, poor, and you see how they live, and then you see us, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to know that you flush clean water down the toilet when people in Africa don't have any water to drink. I mean, it's mind-blowing, right? But that's where we are, right? So you got these scientists and their technologies and all these things that they're looking to do constantly, the Hadron Collider and all that stuff. We don't need that stuff. That is destruction. Apparently that's devastation and potential destruction of the world. We don't need those things, right? You created these atom bombs. You created these hydrogen bombs. It's destruction. they're only made to kill people, to protect us. Like you hear all the time, you know, they have nuclear weapons and we have nuclear weapons and there could be a nuclear war. Well, again, I'm not a big politic guy, but if we go to war with any other country on a nuclear level, nobody wins there, right? Because, you know, if you shoot a nuclear weapon at us, and let's just pretend like it's going to hit the United States, well, the land is destroyed and it's radioactive now. So all you did was just kill people and mess up the United States, right? And the same thing goes for us. We shoot a nuclear weapon to another country. All you're doing is killing people. The land is worthless. People can't go there anymore. We can't take over anything. Well, what's the point? And they're always talking about China. We're going to have this war with China. And do you know who purchases all China's junk and sells it? We do. Everything we sell is from China. They make all their money from us. Why would they want to go to war with the country that gives them the most income? I mean, that doesn't add up to me, right? So you're talking nuclear war. You're talking about the end of the world, the end of mankind. It's just, why would you create these things? The increase of knowledge, you create these things. This just doesn't come together right. So that's where we are. We're in that time, right? You had a cell phone. You know, they created cell phones. They got better and better and better until you have a supercomputer in your hand. I mean, these cell phones are you know, they work better than the laptop you have at home. You know, they freeze up less and they need less virus protection and stuff like that. I mean, they're just, you know, it's in your hand all day long, and it's, you know, it's an increase in technology. They get better and better and better and better. The cameras get better and better and better. The internet, right? They create the internet. Now you can speak to people all across the world without leaving your house, face to face. The problem with it is the internet has its goods and its bads. But if you really look at it, a lot of it's bad, because now people can get on the internet, hack into your information, steal your identity, steal all your money. And there's nothing but filth and trash on the internet. You know what I mean? In 2 seconds, you could be on there looking at some porno site, or, you know, every girl and every guy's half naked showing their bodies off to perfect strangers, right? And most of them are doing it for $1, because they're hoping that they get famous by showing their naked parts or showing how pretty they are or how nice looking they are. These are the increases in knowledge and technology, and these things are going on right now. And God's telling you that when these things happen, this is the end of time. The worst part about it is, you know, you go back to the 1900s and you look at where from before the 1900s to the 1900s till now, within the 20th century and the 21st century, the increase in knowledge has been so dramatic that it's insane. It's insane. It's scary how bad it is. I mean, they're making these robots that have emotions and stuff like that. What are you making that stuff for? What do we need that for? Do we need robots to have emotion? For what? You're going to create robots to do what? To go do work and stuff like that, so that you don't need humans to work anymore, so that you can't make a living anymore and raise your family? The robots are going to end up doing it all because it's cheaper. You know, sooner or later, it'll probably be cheaper to purchase a robot and have that robot, you know, sweep the floors, or have a robot drive all the products to all the stores that you purchase. When that happens, millions of people are out of jobs. But that's where it's going. I mean, if you can't see that's where it's going, you're insane. Everything, technology, everything. These video games, they get better and better and better. They look better, they're better. The problem with them is they're all bad video games. All you're doing in these video games is killing people and hurting people and beating people up and, stealing people's stuff. And a lot of the technology and a lot of the knowledge that's going on here is all part of Satan's plan, right? Let's get this stuff going. These things are made to pull you in and keep you of this world. You don't want to be of this world. You want to be of God. And until you can separate yourself from this world and get on God's side, you're just going to be brainwashed day in and day out to just stay with the program. Look at our children in this day and age because of the cell phones. I have teenage children. I have young children. I see the difference between them and how I was before, cell phones were a big deal. They don't have interaction skills, right? Do you know what it takes for a young teenage boy to go up to a strange girl that he finds attractive and ask for her phone number? That's a whole nother level that women will never understand. Nowadays they don't even have to think about doing that, right? They just, you just Snapchat them some picture of your earlobe or some weird stuff like that, whatever they're doing. The problem is kids don't go outside anymore. They don't interact with each other. They don't speak to each other, right? Then they come home and they don't really speak to the parents or anybody else. Then when it's time to grow up and you go to get a job and the person sits down in front of you and puts an interview on you, these kids are clueless. It's the increase of technology. This cell phone has destroyed kids. You can learn so much from the internet. The information is there. I'm on the internet trying to give you the information because I want to teach people, right? But these kids ain't looking at this stuff. They're watching girls shake their butts up and down on all these platforms and watching, how everybody has their opinion on working out, what to do to get big muscles, what to do to get skinny, blah, blah, blah. It's nonstop. But it's shutting down their interactions. It's shutting down the way they are for the world to come. These people are going to be paying our pensions and stuff when we get older. I don't believe that it's a good thing by any means. And you can say, as a parent, it's your job to take the phone away from them and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter. You keep a phone out of your kid's hand all the way up until they're 18 and they hit the highway, they're going to get a phone and they're going to revert right back into that situation because this is the day and age that they live in. This increase in knowledge is the end of time. It's coming. This is all coming together just like the Word of God tells you.